Welcome to ELF, Center 4, from Insects and Twigs in Winter, and Center 4 is Where Have All the Insects Gone? In this center, students are going to explore and learn about the winter whereabouts of a few common insects. When you start this activity, there's an envelope and it has all kinds of different information. As a get ready activity for yourself, there is a handout that's laminated called Where Have All the Insects Gone? And if you read through this, this probably is something you should read through, not necessarily read out loud to the kids. You might pick out parts that you want to share with them. The introduction is really kind of neat. It says, out of sight, out of mind. That is how many of us deal with the apparent absence of insects in winter. But where are they? In order for many species to survive, at least some of its members have to make it through the winter. Insects have a remarkably simple solution to the problems of surviving frigid winter. They either cease activity if they cannot maintain adequate temperature, and they seek shelter. And so this goes on to tell you information, and I won't read it all, but I would highly recommend you read it before you do this center. Also in here is a chart that's about insects in winter, how and where some insects winter over. And it says the name of the insect and what stage of life they're in when they're wintering over. Not all of them winter over in a dormant stage or in an egg stage, which you might think would happen. And it also tells where they go, which is important for this activity. I wouldn't necessarily share all of this right away, but you could kind of use it to lead a discussion, asking the kids where they think insects go in winter. And that might be a great way to start out. So after you've done a little of that discussing, then there's also, you can move on to, like the outline suggests, this Ranger Rick information that says where do they go, where do insects go in winter. A few kinds, such as monarch butterflies, fly to warmer places. They migrate, that's like one of our cycles. But other kinds stick around in special hiding places, and still others die, but they leave behind eggs, larvae, or pupa. And so this is a really nice graphic example of some of, like the goldenrod gall, which they'll learn about in another center, and woolly bear caterpillars, and all kinds of things in this one. There's kind of an attached part to it, so you could go over that with kids. So once you've got them thinking, golly, where do insects go in winter? The next thing that the outline asks you to do is give each child, each student, a photo card. And in the center there are 10 photo cards, and they have different insects on them. And ask the kids, try not to look at the back, to just try to look at the insect first, and then they can look at the back in a little bit. If you have younger kids, you might not want to give each kid one. You might want to actually just do this one card at a time. So whichever way you choose to do it, you will then take this lovely poster that has environments and examples of where insects might go. And you're going to have the students using the blue tape that's provided in the bin. You'll have them, keep it on the poster, you'll have them take their insect card, like here's ladybugs, that's a pretty good common one, and they can take a small blue piece of tape, and you can discuss, where do you think ladybugs hide out in winter? And I'm going to guess maybe they hide deep, deep, deep under these leaves right there. And so you can either put all the cards on and tape them on, or you can, and then discover afterwards, or as you go you can discover it on the back. It says, ladybug, ladybug, where have you gone to hide under the leaves near the summer's last corn? And so so my guess was right. I guess they'd be under the leaves, and I didn't even read that first. So you'll do that, and you go through each of these photo cards and do the same thing until you've kind of got the kids thinking, wow, look at all the amazing places that insects winter over. And there's even one that says to Mexico. That would be appropriate for the monarchs. And so then you can wrap up by talking about what surprised them. You can also read, there will be books in this center, Where Do They Go? Insects in Winter, and What Lives Under the Carpet. Those are two really great books. And there's also another discussion sheet that says Strategies of Insect Cold Hardiness, Surviving the Winter. And this one has basically the 5 strategies that insects use: heating up the house, like bees do that, getting out of town, monarch butterflies, spending the winter in as simple a life stage as you possibly can, usually an egg, freeze avoidance, and freeze tolerance. So those are some pretty, this might be geared a little bit more towards the older grades. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions about Center 4 or any of ELF, you can email us at mitchellelf@gmail.com, and stay warm.